Up to now, we've been dealing in terms of KOA's past, and mostly we've been talking about radio going back through the years. Well, in 1953, they added pictures, you know, December 1953, and it became KOA Channel 4. And at that time, well, at the studios at California Street, they were nice, but they weren't, we just wouldn't take care of television, you know. So it became a dream of the owners of KOA and those who worked there, that we could have a modern facility that would take care of everything television-wise for the future. And I think that dream that has at last become a reality. That dream has become a fact, as you will see.
How do you do? This is Dave Garroway. Our Today crew has been opening the store on NBC for quite a while now, come these 8 years in January. And during that time, we've watched the store grow into the great TV network that NBC TV is. One of the nicest things, I think, about our job is the work that we've done with affiliated stations, stations like KOA-TV, independently owned and a force in Denver and Colorado's community life. We have gone where the news is, and when it happens to be out of Colorado, KOA has given us pictorial reports just as vivid and as complete as anything our own staff might produce. In fact, in a couple of cases, I can recall, a little better, I think. We could talk for hours about the great stories, President Eisenhower's heart attack, for example, the tragedy of John Gilbert Graham and Charles Starkweather, the reports during 1956 elections, many, many others, too. And since we find ourselves looking back, I can't forget the personal satisfaction gained by the close association with KOA-TV and its frequent participation in Wide, Wide World. In 1955, when General Motors first brought Wide, Wide World into Sunday afternoon America, KOA shared its growth and the growth of its great state with other communities in our country. When we visited Denver in 1957, we hoisted our cameras atop the framework of a present-day landmark in the ever-growing city of Denver. And today, from the sky deck of this handsome structure, tourists and Coloradoans alike can see the tremendous growth which marks the Denver of 1959, a city which a century ago was just a row of tents at the foot of the Continental Divide. In all of this vast Rocky Mountain West, nothing matches the new home of KOA for a combination of utility, operational efficiency, and architectural originality. And in the tradition of Wide, Wide World, we take you directly now to 1044 Lincoln and your tour guide, Ed Bowman, will guide you through that maze that makes up this broadcast operation.
Thank you, Dave. This is a new experience, being able to pick the kind of weather to show you our new home. We like it, and we think you will. To begin with, we're centrally located, 4 blocks from the Capitol, within a few minutes of any part of Denver. Secondly, there's plenty of parking for visitors and advertisers, both on Lincoln Street and on our upper-level lot to the north of the building. Most of our friends are surprised at the size of the building. Its simple line and functional design fools you into thinking it's much smaller than it really is, as you shall see. The materials are the newest available, from the tough metal skin of the exterior to the rough treatment given the supporting columns and the gold finish of the anodized screen, which spans the west wall of the building. The architectural firm of T.E. Moore, AIA, brought this dream into reality. Outside dimensions are 125 by 150 feet, encompassing 30,000 square feet of usable floor space. Actually, we divide the building into 2 separate units. The lower or Lincoln Street level handles all business activities, while the Sherman Street level handles the operation itself, the radio and TV studios, newsroom, film lab, music library, and the like. And believe me, KOA's reception lobby sets the tone of the whole place. Let's take a look. Through the double set of glass doors, past the reception desk where Millie holds forth during visiting hours, to the foyer, the terrazzo floor, the latest in furniture, stark and imaginative in design, covered in fabrics of blue, green, red, and black, a color TV set to watch while you wait for an appointment. Back to the reception desk, where the latest in telephone switchboards gets your message promptly to the inside. Our tour is ready. We'll start with the first level. Our radio business is conducted in an area which runs the whole length of the west wall of the building. From the office of radio sales manager Gene Grubb, past the desk of sales secretary Jerry Ryan, to the program manager's area. This is where program boss Jim Atkins plans the upcoming day. Employees of KOA Radio plan and execute the day-to-day schedule that all of us take for granted as the 50,000-watt voice of the West. And once the plans are set and the time has been sold to the local and national advertisers that use KOA Radio, radio traffic and continuity, make sure it all gets on the program logs and ready for broadcast. Traffic manager Isabel Oden has a problem, and perhaps the bell from the wire room holds the answer. A great deal of KOA's business is conducted by teletype, confirming special programs from the NBC radio network or a sale made in New York to a national advertiser for a commercial message on, say, the Don Roberts Show. TV traffic manager Nancy Leonard is responsible for all communications and messages from the NBC TV sales office in New York, the network traffic office in Burbank, California, or an inquiry perhaps from the NBC station in another city on our TV program lineup. TV sales manager Dick Harris and local sales rep Cy Penley confer, while program director Cy Palmer screens a film with other members of the TV sales staff, one which the station may buy for use 6 months from now. Meanwhile, Sol Lane of the TV sales staff has just presented continuity director Barbara Stevens with several pieces of merchandise that you'll be seeing on the air sometime next week. Copy, props, film, slides. Slides, film, and copy. It goes on every day in an unending stream from the capable hands of the continuity department directly to the operational floor above by way of a convenient dumbwaiter. And while the day-to-day operation goes on, program secretary Becky Averett may be writing an airmail letter to Los Angeles reminding a film company to deliver a certain filmed episode to her no later than 24 hours from now. KOA-TV has never missed scheduling a film due to non-delivery. Such a record, however, requires constant vigilance.
In the projection room on the Sherman Street level, the dumbwaiter delivers copy, film, and slides. To the center, the hub of KOA-TV's local operation. And I'm Bob Schreiber, your host for the rest of the tour. Projectionist Sam Adams files the copy and slides in their proper places. There'll be a station break shortly, as is required by regulation at least once an hour. And the film Sam will thread on the projector will be run during this break. The projection room feeds pictures from the film projectors, the tell-op machine, and the slide projector, where 2x2 or 35mm slides, just like those you use at home, are aired. And as those slides are checked, the director in the control room can see them on one of the 6 monitors which he controls from the new director's console. A complex maze of buttons, lights, and switches which sends the picture out to you. The TV control center is a mass of wire, electronic gadgets, TV sets, and controls which ultimately sends a proper signal to the 375,000 TV homes in Colorado. Mountain States Tell and Tell sends KOA the picture and sound of all NBC network-originated programming, usually relayed by microwave from New York, although it could come from anywhere. And now the newest marvel to arrive on the TV scene, the videotape recorder, an electronic wizard which converts a TV picture into magnetic impulses and stores it on a 2-inch wide tape, similar to the conventional audio tape so much in use today. And to prove its capabilities, what you are seeing and hearing at this moment was actually recorded on this machine. As with all electronic equipment, videotape requires constant maintenance, the regular use of test equipment to root out trouble before it happens. And so it goes day in and day out. Films feed into projectors for your entertainment in a seemingly endless cycle. And members of the film department will attest to that fact. Sam Houston, Jr., KOA film supervisor, must file film before and after it's run. He must edit film, see that it runs the proper length of time, splice in commercial messages and take them out after they've run, and a myriad of other responsibilities. Care and maintenance of photographic equipment, the screening of all motion pictures to make sure they meet the requirements of the television code of ethics, a pretty soft job, some will tell you. And the running of a sideline business in photo printing, a complete lab making copies of pictures ordered from the news department, from the station promotion department. Pictures such as the original architectural rendering of our new building, now modified as the real thing. And speaking of pictures, the photo fax machine rented from UPI, United Press International, works night and day feeding pictures from all parts of the world. Pictures of the big and little news stories. Pictures that are used to give visual impact to our TV newscasts. Pictures to supplement the stream of news copy received by teletype from the news services and used as the basis for all regional and national stories which make up a major portion of KOA radio and TV newscasts. News director John Henry, with the aid of his news assistant Ruth Welsh, must keep track of a staff of 10 news writers. News writers assigned to many different news beats, the state capitol, the city and county, police headquarters. KOA's many radio and TV newscasts throughout the broadcast day require constant updating of the news by rewrite, editing, from football scores to bulletins to weather reports. And they all come from the KOA newsroom. KOA News is a big operation, certainly the biggest in the Rocky Mountain West. The newsroom is centrally located directly at the head of the lobby stairway, which affords visitors and staff alike an excellent view of the sculptural relief made of strips of anodized aluminum and the creation of Denver artist Wilbert Fairhouse. This fine work of art overlooks the courtyard, which is the focal point architecturally of the whole building. As we continue our tour, we return to the radio operation, which occupies the whole west side of the second level of the building. Past the hallway which overlooks the courtyard, to the radio studios themselves, with their familiar on the air signs. To one of the 4 control rooms designed to operate independently of one another or in combination. And as one radio personality of KOA takes his cue to begin recording a weekend segment of his program, we move through a maze of doors, past double glass windows, designed to absorb extraneous noises, keeping studio sound in proper balance. to the audio patch panel, where sources of sound are fed from various microphones, tape machines, record turntables, and sent to the famous 50,000-watt radio transmitter east of Denver, a landmark to Denver air travelers. Listen to the hum of radio sound mixed as it always is.
Down yesterday for the last consecutive time.
These are crucial times.
Argentina was plagued this morning by one of the worst anti-government labor tie-ups in the nation's history. To Sam Summerlin in Buenos Aires.
Undoubtedly in the American League, but in the National League.
As with television, maintenance of equipment is a constant concern of the radio engineering department. Overseen by engineering supervisor Jay Graves. The lifeblood of radio programming is music. Good music programmed by librarian Valerie Truesdell, whose job it is to see that KOA's personalities are supplied with the music that suits their personalities. The platter spun by Don Roberts, Pete Smythe, Don Tolan, Dick Barber, and Duke King are kept in a library close by both radio and television, actually between the radio studios and the giant TV studio, from which tonight's Denver Symphony program originates. And it is quite a studio by any standard. One of the newest features of our live studio facilities is a completely transistorized light board. The control panel can handle 24 different lighting situations. The small and compact patch panel can switch lighting assignments at a moment's notice. Rear projection equipment allows the illusion of one being any place at all and has great commercial value. Studio One measures 50 by 60, and doors lead directly to the outside, allowing large props, such as the newest in automobiles, to enter and leave the studio with a minimum of effort. Double doors, called a sound lock, lead from the larger of the two studios to Studio 2, where Pete Smythe holds forth in East Tin Cup every weekday afternoon. There is the constant problem of guests for Pete's show, and the station can handle 15 each day by appointment. To the south of Studio 2 is the station's storage area, and the many properties, large and small, are stored along the wall, on shelves and on the floor space provided. Heavy props, scenery, stage pieces are moved, struck, moved again, stored, and immediately broken down to be rebuilt as something new. Another new acquisition is the handsome blue, white, and gold remote mobile unit, a specially constructed truck body which can store all the necessary equipment, cameras, lights, cables, sound, and power gear. And KOA President William Grant, along with station manager Ralph Radetsky and Director of Engineering Sid Davidson, never tire of checking and double-checking the new equipment. And as we've seen, there's lots of it throughout the building, designed to give the best of service to the client, advertising agency, and of course to you, the viewer and listener. 1044 Lincoln, the new KOA for the new Denver, transmitting its signal across Denver to its tower atop Lookout Mountain, the one you can't miss because it's the tallest. and from its maximum power transmitter out to the 375,000 homes throughout Colorado, reaching you, as it is doing right at this moment.